That's what I just said. Oh, here we go. There it is.
Okay.
There we go. We're in there. We're in there like swimwear. That's a reference to a wedgie.
Ooh.
If nobody was paying attention.
Like rooster walk.
Like.
I'm showing my age.
All right, let's test this. Test this sound. Test it. Test it. Test
Testing.
that sound.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, your voice always comes through so good on the microphone. Go ahead. One more time.
Test.
That sounds so fucking perfect.
Okay.
Okay. We're going to run these intros. Get right into this, bitch.
What the fuck is going on?
Yo.
And we are in a China shop back again.
Here we
Hello,
go.
Zay.
Mr. Kahuna. How you doing? Jersey in the house.
What the fuck is a week? Stop taking fucking pictures.
I think I'm just going to leave this microphone on from now on. Amy Cologne, Ohio in the building. New Jersey, Ohio. Where's King Charles from? Florida, I think. I would guess Florida if I had to take a guess. Okay. Oh, look, I forgot to do the official. Yo, you beautiful motherfuckers. How you doing? How you guys doing? Wednesday night. What's the date?
I think it's the 13th.
June 13th or something. It's Wednesday. Episode 99 of the Bull-NA-ChinaShop podcast. I'm your host, Ty Lumley. On my left is Jamie Sweet, a.k.a. a.k.a. the queen of the Shorty Bull breed world community. I feel like there's a lot of things going on in Shorty Bulls right now. A lot of stuff with the BBC and a lot of stuff with the Shorty Bull Breed Club of America. A lot of new stuff. What do we got? What do you got as far as... Oh, hold on. I got to do ads. Hold on. I got to do a couple ads here. New Vet Plus Vitamins. All breeds, all ages, no artificial ingredients or fillers. One bottle of 90 vitamin wafers is a 3-month supply. It helps build your puppy's immune system, helps with their bone structure, growth, and development, helps fortify their whole body as they're growing. Your whelping and nursing mothers, it helps increase milk. It helps increase the nutritional value of their milk, and it helps them bounce back from puppies. Your breeding studs, it helps increase count and motility of their semen. And for those of us that have studs, multiple studs that get bred on a weekly, monthly basis, that's important shit. For puppy health, sperm production, and litter size, there's no better multivitamin out there than New Vet Plus vitamin wafers. Right now, check out newvet.com and use order code 87981. Also ask about the auto ship program and the new product, new joint, specifically made for the joints of older pets, canines. I don't know if they're just for dogs. I should have asked that.
New vet.
I would say probably just dogs. Don't give that shit to your cat till we find out. Next one is the Bully Bus Pet Transport. All your pet ground transportation needs within the United States, from coast to coast, from border to border, north to south, east to west. 2 teams running, licensed and insured, super reliable. We at the Bull-NA-ChinaShop podcast use the Bully Bus Pet Transport pretty fucking religiously.
She's coming up here next week.
She will be Kasie Hicks on Facebook, or you can call 863-618-8081.
Tell me that again.
863-618-8081. Or you can visit the Bully Bus Pet Transport page on Facebook. If you're having if you're having trouble shipping puppies because these airlines and their fucking rules, call the Bully Bus Pet Transport right fucking now. Upcoming events. Jamie Sweet actually is going to be a special guest at an event this weekend, June 16th. The Juneteenth Bully Fest in Muncie, Indiana. It's a 4-show, all-day event headlined by Ron Ramos, a.k.a. Papa Pitt. Delaware County Fairgrounds, hosted by sanctioned by the BRC. Contact Anthony Pope or Kev Green on Facebook. Are you looking forward to that?
I am looking forward to that.
Is that Anthony's first show that he's hosted?
I believe so. And he's got a lot of activities planned and, extra things. And I look forward to a really nice event up there.
I literally just
Muncie, Indiana.
Spit coffee all over myself. I like that Indiana area out there too. I used to know a couple people in Fort Wayne. Used to know a couple people out there. It's a nice area. I mean, there's a lot of dogs out there. There's a lot of people out there. It shouldn't be super hot. I'm sure it's an indoor thing though. Yeah.
I'm sure.
Anyway,
it's gonna be great. So I hope to see a lot of you there. Bring your dogs, and it's a quad show.
That's this weekend, June 16th. Now, the next one on the events list is July 21st, Euro Nationals. At the Royal Highland Centre in Edinburgh, Scotland. It's a multi-breed event. July 21st, like I said, Team ABKC UK is hosting. Contact Sean Main, Derek Morris, or William Byrne for that. The Royal Highland Centre is a big fucking deal. Like, that's a big deal right there in Edinburgh, Scotland. So I hope to see a lot of people there. I know all the UK people will be there. Most of the Europe people will be there too. Looking forward to seeing everybody in Scotland.
That's always a good time in Scotland.
After that, we have August 25th in Australia, Sydney, Australia. September 1st, Art of Bully Bangkok, Thailand shows back. September 29th, ABKC Ireland Benefit Show for the Laura Lynn Foundation. The War of the Bullies in Dublin, Ireland, September 29th. Cash prizes to everyone who wins a Best in Show. Multi-breed event also. That one's hosted by Carl Carey. And all proceeds from that War of the Bullies ABKC Ireland show go to benefit the Laura Lynn Foundation. That's all I got. September, that's all the way up to September 29th. I really don't have much the next couple months. It's kind of slow, which would be nice because it's hot as fuck out here.
Yeah, and it's just hot summer.
Anybody, show hosts or brand development people, if you guys would like to advertise on the Bull-NA-ChinaShop podcast, email realtylumley@gmail.com. This past week in the hashtag dog life. It's hot as fuck out here.
It is so hot.
It's hot as fuck out here.
Horrible.
Let's see who chimed in so far before we get into that. Let's see here. Rick Simmons, Kasie Hicks,
Hi,
Angelo, Mario, thanks for tuning in. If you guys don't mind, give us a share. Share the podcast on your page. We appreciate that. The title of the episode is Summertime Blues for a reason. Mm-hmm. The past week in the hashtag dog life has been kind of a rough motherfucker for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. 2 weeks ago, a friend of mine and the guy who got me into American Bullies, who I actually got my first 3 dogs from, the first 3 American Bullies that I ever bought from Craig Lanham from Chicago. who owned Oldie Kennels, died. And then just last week, I think Thursday or Friday, Larry from Goochland died. A pioneer as far as pocket-sized dogs go, whatever you want to say about him.
He was ahead of his.
He was way ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
For a long time, one of his dogs, Grand Champion Success, the Freak Fest. For a long time, in my eyes, that was the best pocket American Bully I ever fucking seen.
Yeah.
For a long time.
That was a beautiful dog.
The amount of muscle on those dogs, I don't even know where it came from, but it was awesome.
Didn't we see Success just a couple of years ago? And he was how old?
That was at a Kansas show, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe
Larry
2 summers ago, 3 summers ago.
And he still looked so good.
He still looked awesome. So anyway, lost a couple of OG American Bully guys. Mm-hmm. I personally also had kind of a rough fucking week. We had a little bit of heat out here. I mean, nothing out of the ordinary though.
But still, it's awful.
And I actually had lost 2 dogs myself. So speaking of summertime blues, something we're going to talk about later in the podcast, but we had an issue. I have an issue at my house where there's fucking rabbits everywhere. Like 30 rabbits that just surround my house and the kennel area. And we had 2 dogs get into what I would say was just a little bit of a fence fight, but then couldn't get cooled back down because of the critters that were in the yard. And, you know, it's a tough situation. It's not something that a lot of people would even talk about. For most people, I would say it's just something that you would just let lie and keep it low, because no one likes to admit they lost dogs, and part of it definitely could have been my fault. I don't want to kill all these rabbits. This is the problem. I can sit in my backyard with my .45 caliber pistol and blow fucking holes all over my yard. I just don't want to kill all the rabbits, but the rabbits are fucking killing my dog. So I don't know how to deal with that.
Well, there's going to be more rabbits and more rabbits and more rabbits.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No matter how many rabbits I sit out there and blow to smithereens, there's just going to be more. They fuck
and
like
if
rabbits.
Not rabbits. It'll be the chipmunks.
Or squirrels, or possums, or raccoons, or coyotes out there.
Yeah.
But it's just something we're going to talk about later on in the podcast. We're going to get into the top 5 dog killers in summertime. Hopefully we'll have some pretty good information for you guys about that. Yeah, it's been a pretty rough week. Other than that, I mean, went to Tennessee.
Yeah.
Judged the show. Got to see my people Rachel. Got to see my people Errol. Got to see a bunch of familiar faces down there. But you know what's crazy? I got to see a bunch of new faces too.
Really? That's good.
In the Tennessee that were from like local people, so that's good. The oldies.
Tell me about the oldies.
The
I haven't
oldie
spoken
classes
with you.
were big.
Really?
And there were multiple good dogs in each class. Like, it was like there was a kennel that brought oldies out that I'd never seen before, never seen the people, never seen the dogs.
Really?
Completely new faces, completely new dogs, which I always love. Obviously, you know, the top 3 oldies in the country were there.
Sure.
Jessica Cook had a bunch of nice oldies out there. There's an oldie she imported from Bull Force,
Good,
I think.
I'm glad to hear that.
So that's new blood coming in. So the oldie classes were big. There's still some confusion on what exactly an oldie should look like.
Well, there is, yeah. And
But the confusion is our fault. When I say our fault, I mean the ABKC. Because the ABKC, in the standard, it reads, your bitch needs to be a certain height, but also only needs to be 50 pounds at a minimum.
Ooh.
A 50-pound, 17-inch oldie, that's not a very thick dog. That's not carrying a lot of mass.
That's maybe a misprint or something.
So when I try to explain to somebody why their dog's going to struggle in the shows because it just doesn't carry the mass, on top of multiple structural issues, very slab rib cage.
An oldie bitch should have mass.
An oldie bitch should still have a round rib cage and protruding shoulders. Good. She just didn't have any mass to her, and people want to buck back at you when you try to explain it to them because, well, my bitch is 50 pounds.
Oh, wow.
Right, I understand your bitch is 50 pounds, but
that probably needs some attention.
A 50-pound, 17-inch dog is not a very bulky dog.
Yeah, right.
Not a very stocky dog.
A 17-inch tall dog is that's a lot of height.
And only to be 50 pounds, how could it be possible to have a wide rib cage or wide set shoulders?
No, that needs to be. Maybe that was a typo.
Old English Bulldog, the foundation base of it is English Bulldog and American Bulldog, Johnson and Scott. Where in the fuck do you get a 17-inch, 50-pound dog out of mixing those two breeds together?
Well, you can get some big dogs, you know.
No, I understand the height,
dogs, yeah.
but you're also going to get...
But they're not 50
80
pounds.
pound,
Oh my gosh, yeah.
80-pound, 17, 18-inch dogs. You know, you're going to get some thick, heavy dogs. But the savior of the oldie class down there was 4 or 5 really nice dogs.
Well, I'm glad to hear that's picking up. That's great. That's good. It seems like there's always a lot of action in the oldies. You know, there's always something going on. I'm just tickled to hear that.
You know what I like about oldies?
Love that breed.
You don't have to have a crazy big hype game to have a big presence in the oldies. Like in American Bullies, if you don't have a hype game, nobody knows or gives a fuck who you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In the oldies, you just show up with a nice dog and people are like, oh, that's a nice fucking dog.
That's cool. That's good.
Anything exciting happened in Jamie's world?
In Jamie's world this week? No, not. I mean, the heat.
Not to cut you off, but speaking of oldies, Angelo Smith. Remember that bitch I was showing at Nationals oldie? First of all, Angelo, no, I don't. Don't have any recollection of what you're talking about. I forgot Nationals the day after it happened, my friend. No, I'm just kidding. I'm joking. I took the best of winners with her. Her father, Nino, was a 6.5-year-old oldie. I actually do remember that bitch, a champagne bitch, if I remember right. And her dad was massive. I think I put him up also. Yeah, that's oldies, bro. That's what I'm talking about. Those are massive dogs. And we're talking about a dog the same height as that bitch, but only weighing 50 pounds. It's just not really what the breed calls for. I think we need to... Whoever wrote that into the standard, first of all, I hope they're not writing standards anymore because that shit is ridiculous to me. We can't have a 50-pound minimum on a 17-inch.
Well, you know what happens a lot of times? A lot of people just guess.
But also, you know what it is? You know what it is? Because the minimum height is not really the minimum height.
Right.
You can go above or below the height requirements as long as the dog's proportioned.
Ooh.
So if they're saying 50 pounds, but under the height, maybe a 15.5-inch, 16-inch bitch that's 50 pounds, she might have a little bit of proportion to her. But I'm talking a 17-inch dog that only weighs 50 pounds.
So if you're going to show an oldie, you just
show up with an oldie.
Bring a proportioned dog.
It literally, is what the standard reads right now, the height, I don't want to say it doesn't matter, because obviously it does matter. We want to see 17, 18-inch, 19-inch.
It does matter.
16.5-inch oldie. We want big, massive oldies. That's fucking what an oldie is. But according to the standard, if you're a 16-inch dog by proportion, you're fine. If you're a 22-inch dog by proportion, you're fine.
I think everybody should get a scale and a yardstick and... You know, measure a lot of dogs.
What the fuck is this?
Because it's hard to guess until you measure a whole lot and weigh a whole lot.
This is something I've said for a while, since that oldie standard changed. What the fuck is the sense of even having height and weight brackets if they're just suggestions?
Well,
you know what I mean? Why do we have a minimum, maximum height?
Yeah, if you're going to go on proportion, go on proportion.
Even American Bullies right now, 14 inches is supposed to be 14 inches the minimum.
But, you know, here's my thing with weight, okay? Weight's one of the things that can fluctuate and, you know...
Yeah, that's tough.
That's one of the things, so...
Like Frenchies, too, because Frenchies can't be over 30 pounds now. And you get a thick, stocky Frenchie, you're going to have to cut maybe a little water out of them to make that 30 pounds.
But, I mean, if that's the dog, are we going to let 1 or 2 pounds hold it up? I mean, I don't... Weight is something we can fix the next day.
Right, and to me... Weight should be the thing that we're fluctuating on, not the height. The height should be very stringent height requirements,
because
the weight should be in proportion.
Weight will cap itself according to height.
That's exactly what we talk about the show all the time.
Yeah.
It's just frustrating to see. You can't even really fault the people that are bringing these kind of dogs in because they're reading the standard going, hey, my bitch is exactly this. This is what my bitch is. Anyway, anything exciting happened around here over the past week?
The past week, no. We stayed cool, and that was a major thing. And I had a kennel inspection. That's always exciting. It's always kind of...
So give us a rundown. When the inspector shows up, what's the procedure?
Okay, well, they're always random, so you never know when they're coming. You have designated hours that you're supposed to be at your kennel.
Like a piss test from your parole officer.
It is. It's like that. But they don't come usually during the designated hours. So they'll call and they'll be like, I'm at your kennel.
Hey, we're here.
And you're always like, oh my God, the kennel inspector. But no, you should be able to pass when things are wrong. So she comes, she puts shoe covers on. That's very important that they do that. And then...
Because they see so many kennels, who knows what they're passing back and forth. If they weren't, that's dope.
Yeah, so put the shoe covers on, then we start inspecting each dog, walking around, inspecting, the cage, the panels. The panels can have no rust on them. No wood, should be plain wood. If they scratch or something and expose the wood, you're going to get dinged on that.
Jesus.
Yeah, your water buckets. Water buckets need to be cleaned if your water buckets are chewed up. That's not good. Chewing around the edge. So I always had a problem with that because my dogs chew around the edge every day. So, they want it to be smooth so it doesn't hurt the dog. She looks at the condition of all the dogs, counts the dogs, counts males, females. You have to have records of, who they are and this matches this. And then she goes inside, makes sure the doors work, the kennel doors.
Right, because you have indoor, outdoor on your building.
Right. Oh, where my dogs go out, there was some dirt there. So, got a little ding for the dirt. And it was kind of muddy. But, you can't win. It doesn't matter. She looks at the temperature, asks you for your records. Just things like that. If you move a dog from state to state, you need a health certificate on that dog.
If it came from a different state into this state. Mm-hmm. So, like when you say dinged, you get a fine?
Well, you get, it depends on your inspector.
Right.
Okay, but I mean, I don't know who's going to get a clean slate every single time. We have bulldogs, Right. Okay, so while she was there, Dark Horse and Creo
makes sense.
Tackle each other and spill the food all the way out in the alleyway. So
she was like,
She's like,
that's a ding.
Well, no, she's just like, do they do this often?
Yeah, they're fucking dogs.
But
man.
they were getting excited because somebody new was there. So, no, it wasn't bad. It was pretty good.
This often.
They have to have a temperature. Yeah, sometimes they want them to have toys, which I have a problem with
hazard.
Toys.
It's a fight hazard. That's a choke hazard.
It's a fight hazard. And also, they're so destructive. So, yeah, it's always exciting. And then you never know which inspector you're going to get. But now you have 30 minutes to get to the kennel. If not, you're getting a $200 fine.
So you have to live your life within 30 minutes of your kennel all the time, is what you're saying.
You're right. Or you have to have a designated agent that is on all of your paperwork and knows all your dogs and all your records and all that. But it's a new law with the fines. And so...
some of that stuff's crazy to me.
Yeah. So there's a letter on the USDA site that we're trying to do away with that because we do take good care of our dogs, but
and if fucking
we might have to run somewhere
and the HSUS would stay the fuck out.
Well, if they could see that they are happy dogs
but I mean
they're well taken care of.
It's fine to adopt mentally damaged and emotionally damaged and physically damaged dogs and burdens on people's lives, it's completely acceptable to adopt them to half the country. But you want to sell somebody a healthy dog that you actually know the lineage of, you're the. It's the same thing as being like a
it's
anti-feminist right now. We're all in the same fucking group. We're basically Donald Trump.
Yeah.
We're basically Donald Trump right now as far as
You know what I was thinking the other day with
Pete
these
is
rescues?
concerned.
Oh gosh, I should have saved it off my Facebook, but there was a show in California, and
that's what I think Jose's about to talk about also.
Oh really? Yeah.
How about the animal rights situation in Cali?
Yes,
You guys
that's crazy.
You have to ramp up your security.
Yes, because they come into the dog show and we're letting dogs out of kennels and cages.
Who was?
PETA people. PETA activists.
Like planted agents?
Well, I don't know what they were.
We got ourselves a conspiracy happening here.
I'll send you the thing. They were letting dogs out. It's by a major highway, so no dogs were killed or ran off or anything. But still.
But they were trying to get the dogs killed.
They need to be prosecuted. Maybe Jose can give us some more.
Jose, if you got a link to that, post a link in the comments right there so people can check that shit out. That's bullshit. So they're willing to put animals' lives at risk, but there's people for the ethical treatment of animals.
They feel like they shouldn't be in the cage, yada yada. They should be free, but
if people aren't familiar what PETA stands for, PETA literally is the people for the ethical treatment of animals. What the fuck is ethical about letting a dog out of a cage and hoping it runs into the highway?
I don't know, but that must have been
unplugging electrical cords from RVs and having dogs overheating.
Yeah,
that's okay though.
That's
What's
like terroristic
about that? We have dog terrorists.
I know.
They are the canine ISIS.
Listen, that's no joke.
Basically, is what's happening.
They do not like us breeders.
A link.
Yeah. What did he say?
Jose,
what's the link?
What's the link? Jose,
go to Danny Frost's
what
wall.
You clicked
Danny
on
has it
to read what you read about.
Danny
California.
has it,
That's the
and
link.
you can read about it. And I was going to share it, and I forgot. But yeah, that just happened. And don't be fooled by that HSUS. They really hate us. PETA
That's
does
insane.
too. If you really, I suggest that you do some rescue, maybe some personal rescue, buy some towels, buy some dog bowls, some dog food, something, but don't give money to these people, please.
Oh no, but they've got the celebrities and the lobbyists, and they got Celine Dion singing goddamn songs all over TV. I don't know if she still does that. Sarah McLachlan or whoever it is. I don't care who it is.
I wonder if they get inspected, because I think they ought to have random kennel inspections as well. Every damn rescue should get inspected. They ought to have contracts. They ought to be made accountable for these animals. We should be held to the same rules. But anyway, that's enough of that. Hope we're going to get the link posted. If not, I'll put it on my wall.
Kasie Hicks actually just chimed in and said they said
the dogs were better off dead than subjected to a life of torture.
That's insane.
And can I just go get some? Since we're on this, can I just go get my Radical Little magazine? I want to give you some percentages here.
Is that insane to anybody else besides me? That's fucking insanity. We have enough shit to worry about without being on guard from fucking canine ISIS releasing our shit into the fucking streets or turning off the air conditioner.
Because if you don't have a license, you're not really linked to all these things like, the kennel thing, it's a big deal.
They're trying to get rid of us, man. They're trying to get rid of breeders, I'm telling you.
No, they really hate us. Okay, so here's
Rick,
some
Steve,
facts.
Good to see you guys.
Here's some facts.
Oh, okay. First of all, the HSUS, the Humane Society of the United States. I didn't know what the fuck that stood for a long time. Because it used to be the ASPCA. Mm-hmm. Now they've switched it up so nobody knows who the fuck they are. We got you, okay? We got our eyes on you.
Listen to this is the one you need to know. Did you know that all rescue shelters breeders are in the business of placing pets in forever homes by providing and selling pets to the public? Breeders offer an animal with a guarantee for health, temperament, and heritage for a fee. Rescues and shelters offer an animal without a guarantee for health, temperament, and heritage for a fee, because they call it adoption, rehoming, or donation.
But it's all the same thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you look at it by that logic, why in the fuck would you ever get a dog out of a rescue or a shelter?
Well, I have a problem with that anyway, a little bit, because a lot of those.
Oh, here we need to read the Swede or the other dog or hashtag this past week in the dog life from our friends in Denmark.
Yes, we do.
Okay, so like I said last week, we're going to do this every week. If you would like to email your story of your this past week in the hashtag dog life, email that to realtylumley@gmail.com. This one was actually sent to us private message. That's fine too. If you would like to send it to Jamie Sweet, send it to me. Doesn't fucking matter. Just send it to us and put hashtag dog life on it. And then we'll read it. So here we go. First one. Our names are Dennis and Karina Bergen. We live in Denmark. We want to share our hashtag dog life with you guys. Excuse me. We have bred Great Danes for many years and decided it was time for a smaller breed. We love bulldogs but wanted a healthy, active pet. We got our first Shorty Bull home from the U.S. 3 years ago, and it was exactly what we wanted. Now, 3 years later, we have 7 Shorty Bulls and soon our first litter on the way. And oh man, what a 3 years. Unfortunately, we lost our first litter 15 days before birth. We lost the entire litter because of a dead puppy inside the female. Probably went septic in there, my guess. In these 3 years, we've been in the United States 3 times to pick up puppies, and we went to the Nationals in Chicago. But the biggest experience was the visit to the river and to meet the queen of Shorty Bulls, Jamie Sweet, and Nisa Maldini. It's Malden.
Maldini.
I read Maldini because he said Maldini. And see all the amazing dogs. It's absolutely crazy to hear and see the incredible work Jamie's done and still doing to create a breed this lovely. And everything is a little difficult here in Denmark. There are no shows, and you can't even register a Shorty as a Shorty Bull, but only as a mixed breed, and nobody knows what a Shorty Bull is. There are only about 18 of them in the whole of Denmark, so there's a lot of work to do for this amazing breed here. But we are dog people to the bone, and we do all we can to promote our lovely breed, and people like what they see. Every time we go to a show, we drive 8 to 18 hours. Anywhere between 8 to 18 hours.
And that's unusual for there.
Yeah, that's
very unusual. So they put on the miles Dennis and Karina do.
Anyway, between 8 to 18 hours to get there. We've been in Italy, Czech Republic, and Belgium, and the Netherlands several times. More countries will come in the future. It is difficult to get Shorty Bulls on the program because now Shorty people come, so we bring all their dogs to get them on. To be honest, we think there is a big job to do here for the Shorty Bull in Europe. It's a different type here, not as bully as the USA. Some of them looks like a whole different breed. Here on Bergen's Shorty Bull, Denmark, we want the type we saw at the river, and we will work hard to get it. That's what Europe needs. Dennis and I have worked together every day for the last 5 years, every day. And if we must say it to ourselves, we are a hell of a great team. We just want to say thank you to Jamie and Ty for a great podcast. It is a good way for us to follow what's going on over there.
That was awesome.
That's
Thank
fucking
you guys.
amazing.
Thank you guys. I know you do put in the work with the shows and the travel, and I know you love it. And
8 to 18 hours. I thought we drove. I mean, we do drive, but 18 hours is fuck. It's so hard.
Mm-hmm. And I know I know Dan is super competitive. We had a blast when they were here. We actually delivered some lambs besides doing the dogs. So it was fun to get them here, and we had a great time. And when they said the dogs are bullier in the USA, that's kind of interesting because, you know, the country of origin, that's always important to the breed, you know,
right,
that you're getting. If you get one from over there, you know, they probably have the best there. It would make sense.
Yeah, like
And
to
it's
me,
America,
a Belgian
so-
Malinois, I would probably go to Belgium to get one.
Yeah.
If I were into that, or a German Shepherd, I'd probably go to Germany to
German
get one.
Rottweiler. But yeah, they're bullier here, and that's kind of cool too. That they liked what they saw, but we did. We had a great time on their visit. So thanks, Dennis and Karina. That was nice, and it's good to hear your hashtag dog life.
You know, fucking Jose gave up on posting the link.
Jose, just copy
Hey,
and paste it in the podcast.
It's
Just
2018,
copy and paste
homie.
it.
You know
Hey,
what I mean?
listen, we typed on manual typewriters.
That's true. That is true. Hey, Jose, what was Benjamin Franklin like?
He was a bad dude.
Because it's 2018. Copy, just hit left, right click, copy, paste. Anyway, like I said, if you guys have
Funny, ain't he?
any, they Denise and Karina basically went, or Dennis and Karina,
Not Denise.
not Denise, Dennis
Dennis, did you hear that?
Dennis and Karina basically went through their whole fucking life in the dogs, which is fine if that's the kind of hashtag dog life submission you want to send in. That's great. Or if you just want to send in a cool story that happened last week or a couple weeks ago or the last time you went to a show, that's great too. Send those in. Make sure you put hashtag dog life in the subject. RealTyLumley@gmail.com. Product of the week.
Okay, that's my thing here.
Sticking to the summer theme.
Okay, Blue Light Instant Oral Hydration Supplement. I use this. It's not a new product.
Here, let's
But
see
it's a
if we
good
can get it
product.
there. I think we did this once already, but we got a summer theme going already. Instant oral hydration.
Yeah. When you do get dehydrated, your electrolytes are out of balance, and that can cause, a lot of failure.
Yeah, big time. Cramping, systems to shut down.
Right. So it's important that the electrolytes get balanced.
So
and
that's
stay
what that is
balanced.
basically, is an electrolyte
Yeah,
supplement.
it is.
Additive.
And I like to use it. They like to drink it. They love it. But I just give it to them, like once a day, just to be sure. The puppies too.
Canine brand Blue Light instant oral hydration
Yeah.
support.
Now I know there are some other.
They're not sponsoring us either.
Yeah,
This is
no.
just product of the week.
This is just things we thought would help you. But I know there's some other oral hydration supplements out there. I'm always interested in those. That's something that's very important to me, is the water intake of our pets. A lot of times they don't want to drink, maybe. This is kind of something that's different than just regular water.
Yeah,
So like
probably safer for them than Gatorade. Like when we were on the road, we couldn't get dogs to
Yeah.
drink. Sometimes we'd give them Gatorade to help with the electrolytes so they didn't get dehydrated.
Make sure that you wash your dog's bowls. Nobody wants to drink out of a dirty bowl, So
Right.
wash your bowls, change the temperature. I don't know, but they need to drink. It's very important to make all the rest of the body function. I actually think the water is probably more important than the food.
Yeah, especially because they can go a while without food, but you only got a couple of days if they're not drinking water.
I mean, the water's important. Puppies.
Bobby Human just chimed in and
Yes.
said Bully-Aid.
There you go. I knew
another
Bobby.
hydration.
Thanks, Bobby, because I knew. I just couldn't remember the name of it. Bull-NA-ChinaShop. Hey, tell us about that. Did you like it?
Well, send me a link for it, and we'll get some and
Yeah.
try it. And if we like it, we'll put it on product of the week. Post a link in the comments if you got one. If you know the people that make it, just link my shit with them or whatever you want to do. Appreciate the shout out on that.
Yeah, because on the road, even, I think this stuff's important.
Yeah, it
Because,
is.
they suck up and they don't want to. So, if we could keep them hydrated.
Even if they're not dehydrated, and you want to keep them holding water while you're on the road, so they look full and
Feel good.
feel good, and move around and shit. Still
Eliminate waste
would
easy.
help,
Yeah.
for sure. Staying right on that same theme, I alluded to it earlier. We were going to get into the top 5 summertime killers.
Okay.
Now, like I said, everyone's had issues with the heat in the summertime. We live in a country where it's from one side to the other. Everyone
Right.
gets
Extreme,
summertime
yeah.
heat. Florida gets it worse than a lot of people. Texas, Arizona, New Mexico, California gets 120s. Kansas, we don't really get 120s, but we get the 105s with the humidity. So when those guys in Phoenix with the 120, that's pretty dry, pretty arid region. We get the 105, but we still get the fucking humidity with it. So it's really taxing.
Brutal. You can't even breathe in it. It's just awful.
Really taxing shit. I think this order is not, or this list is not in order of importance. Not which one's more important than the other. Just stuff we put on here. 5 things that we think are the top 5 dog killers.
Before we get into that, I thought of something I needed to put on that list. Acclimation is so important in the summer, and that is what can bring a heat stroke on, is your dog not being acclimated. If you decide to keep it inside in the air, keep it in the air.
Right. Bathroom breaks are one thing, 10, 15 minutes, but going from the air conditioning to 45 minutes stint outside, could shock them or tax.
Yeah, that's very hard on a dog. And also, make sure your kennels have some sort of shade.
Well, hold on now. Hold on now. You're jumping ahead of us here.
Okay, all right, go
ahead. So acclimation was just something she threw on top of that. I think that's a good one. Acclimating your dogs to the heat. If your dogs are going to be outside dogs, they're probably going to acclimate as it gets warmer. You probably won't have too much to worry about with that. But if you have dogs moving from inside an air-conditioned garage into an outside area where they're going to be hot, that's a problem. That could be a problem.
Huge problem.
That could be an issue. Before we get into the rest of this
lifestyle
stuff,
changes are big.
Making sure your dog's acclimated to the weather, no matter what, if it's not acclimated, you're going to run into issues. You're going to. Number one, just like Jamie said, number one is exposure. No shade whatsoever. In the sun all the time when it's hot, in the hottest part of the day.
That can get you arrested.
These aren't in order of importance, but that's fucking against the law. You know what I mean? So that's a big deal. Exposure to the sun, exposure to the elements, having no shelter to duck into, having no shade that they can cool off in. That's against the law. That's not like hey, we suggest this. No, that's fucking illegal, okay? You can't do that.
Please don't do that.
And I think even sunburns, drying out their skin, cracking, splitting, bleeding.
Well, just burning up would be, the days are terrible. Go sit out in the sun for 5 hours yourself and just stay there. If you like it.
If you've never seen a dog with sunburned balls before, it's rough. It's rough. They peel and they hurt and they don't want to sit down. It's rough. Imagine a sunburn on your balls. It just sounds terrible. It sounds so bad. I'm pretty sure I seen a sunburned testicle sack in Tennessee, actually. I'm pretty positive there was. I touched it. It felt a little leathery, to be honest with you.
Oh, poor guy. No,
I actually had somebody ringside ask me why I checked why do you keep grabbing their balls?
Oh, my God.
Well, I got a fetish. I don't know what to tell you. I like grabbing dog balls.
Be careful what you say now. I'll take it to the happy place, like the movie.
No, I was just, explain to them, well, males, to be in the show ring, have to have 2 testicles. You have to physically touch them. You can't just look at them. Sometimes it's deceiving. Sometimes it looks like 2 and there's only 1 in there, so you got to touch them to figure it out. I don't know how we got on to touching dog balls, but anyway, number 1's exposure. Number 2 is dehydration. No access to water. Huge no.
Do you know how
also
to tell
illegal
when a dog is dehydrated? One of the easiest ways to tell. It's pretty far dehydrated. When you can pinch the skin
and it doesn't bounce back,
right. And it stays stuck together, especially on little puppies.
Yep.
You need to get some hydration in there.
That's one of the ways I used to check and see if my milk mixture was too rich. Because sometimes you'll mix it really rich and you won't have enough water, and they're getting all those vitamins and minerals and nutrients with not enough water to flush it through. I would use the pinch test. Sometimes on older puppies, you can see their gums get sticky.
Yeah.
Their eyes can get glazed over and shit. Just like heat exhaustion and heat issues and heat stress breath, with people.
Like extra bad breath. Sign of dehydration.
Yeah. What do you, I was gonna call it halitosis. I don't know if it's the same thing for dogs.
Thing, yeah.
But I think no access to water, that's illegal as well. So like the first two, shade and water, shelter and water, that should be, I mean, that's basic fucking.
If we have to tell you that, you probably might want to not have it anymore.
In the winter or in the summer, it doesn't matter. In the fall, if you're fucking on vacation somewhere where it's 35 degrees all the time, it doesn't matter. They still need shelter and they still need water. Like, that's too basic.
The water in the summer, that's another thing. You know, when it gets warmed up and it gets hot, they don't want to drink that. Algae can grow so quickly.
Big time.
Yeah, so you need to be scrubbing the buckets. It's easier, so much easier, if you just scrub them every day. It's so much easier than waiting till it's all green and then trying to clean that.
Well, I know that's like, especially if your buckets are exposed to the sun, the sun will grow algae in your water buckets really fast. And I know you use mostly plastic buckets, yeah? Mm-hmm. We use...
My automatics.
Right.
Are the wonderful...
You have the watering system now,
Yeah.
which changed the whole game.
Yes.
And in the wintertime, it kind of sucks. You got to shut the whole thing down.
In the wintertime,
summertime, it's got to be a lifesaver.
Mm-hmm. It's great.
The automatic waters.
Yeah,
But
it's wonderful.
with the bullies, we use stainless steel buckets, and a lot of people don't understand. What a lot of people don't understand about stainless steel, there's actually a film that builds up. There's a chemical reaction that happens between the stainless and the water. There's a film. It's almost like not a rust color, but a little lighter than rust color film that builds up on the inside of your buckets that you have to wash out every few days. It's toxic to your dogs. So I change the water when it's hot. I change the water twice a day. Once, fairly early in the morning because I'm sure they're wanting to drink from the night. Everyone's dehydrated when they wake up, and then halfway through the day when it's hot, so they can get a fresh, cold drink of water. So we change the water pretty frequently. But like Jamie said, with stainless steel buckets, it's so fucking easy to clean them out. You literally can use your hand and the water that's in there to clean them and then change the water out. I mean, it's not like you got to get in there and scrub them with bleach every fucking time and then rinse them. But keeping them clean, keeping that algae out, keeping that film that builds up from the stainless,
Exactly.
It's important shit. Don't just leave stale water in those buckets and fill them up every fucking day. It's a good way. I mean, you'll see the effects on your dogs, especially if you do it weeks on end. That stale, stagnant water in there is not good for them to be drinking, So 1 and 2, exposure, dehydration. Number 3 is anxiety. Now, this is basically, we're talking about on the road, going to shows, not being comfortable with their environment, not being socialized. This is basically, number 3 is basically focused on being on the road, going to shows.
When it's hot out.
When it's hot out. It's super important. Well, we've seen people lose dogs in 50-degree weather to anxiety.
Yeah, we have.
Even when it's not hot out, getting them socialized from a young age, getting them used to road trips, getting them used to the big...
There's a question.
Yeah, read Robert. Keep Robert's question handy. Just getting them used to being on the road and being around
with anxiety,
around the hustle bustle of the shows. That's a big fucking deal.
Give us some ideas, Casey. That would be very helpful. Yeah, anxiety is something that I don't think you maybe realize what anxiety does.
Jose did learn the hard way. Coming out
my gosh,
last summer.
Yeah.
Robert
That was bad.
Munoz. I have a question. I saw a post to your Instagram that mentioned cat paws. Can you explain these? Tight feet. Most standards, if you read the breed standard, will actually call for what we call tight round feet, which are cat feet. They literally look like little tight toes, look like little cat paws. That's ideal for most of the shit that we're looking
versus when the toes are spread apart and maybe the toes are flattened.
Flat feet, long toes, hair toes, splayed feet.
Yeah, they're spread apart.
Laid out like a platypus, big webbing in between.
Yeah,
but
so
that's
cat feet. Cat feet means
cat paws. Good question though.
Yeah, knuckled up and tight. tightly put together.
Yeah, like if you read the standard, sometimes they'll actually use the reference cat feet, tight round toes, basically tight round toes, basically, or tight toes, round feet, basically what we're looking for. But okay, so going back to anxiety, I think it's just repetitions. Repetition. Like Bobby Human just made a comment, starts in the whelping box, starts at a super young age. We've talked about this extensively. The experience your dogs have between that 12 weeks and 6 months.
And the fear stages. And
has a
your
big
dog's
impact.
temperament. It also is going to come into play there. And that's genetic, you know. There's a lot of things you can't do about that.
Now, see, I have a couple of timid females that they're not anxious bitches, though. There's a difference. Like, they're scared, but they don't get anxious and they don't work themselves up. They're just scared and calm, chilling. But they don't want to fuck with nobody. They don't want you around them, but they're not anxious. Whereas then you have, when I first started bringing Maestro out, confident dog, but in those situations, he don't like new people. He don't meet new people.
Smells, new
smells, new dogs, new noises. Worked himself up a couple of times. Not to any kind of dangerous situations, but even him, he's a confident dog, and just not being in that situation more than once or twice at the beginning worked him up.
When Jose came, Jose knows his dogs well. 2 big American Bulldogs.
Yep.
And we talked about the heat and, you know, a new environment and what it might be. Well, the 2 dogs came and it was very hot for the time, but, you know, the cats, the chickens, a whole kennel of new dogs.
Fact.
I mean, it was just too much stimulus.
And they were in the car in the air conditioning.
No, they were out. We had them out. We had them out, and you know, when it starts, you can notice their tongue starting to curl. Yep. This way.
What I noticed first is the wide eyes. They get these eyes like this. So you can't. You can see the shit from a mile away. They get that look like, holy fuck, I don't know how to handle this. And then you can hear the breathing changes.
Rapid respirations, yeah.
Yeah, anxiety's a big one. Get your dogs used to being on the road. If you're going to attend shows, start at a young age. Even if you don't want to put them in the show, because I personally like to wait to get in the shows till they're a year. But being at the show to get used to that environment, that's a big deal. Yeah. Now they're talking about preventative stuff to cool.
Yeah. When you travel,
down.
You should
Kasie
have a
said the
kit.
same thing. Listen for the sound of the breathing. The breathing changes. You can clearly hear. It's different from a hot dog trying to catch his breath.
I've even heard them sound like the belt on a vehicle, like the wheeze,
almost a whistle.
Yeah, that's when you have a problem. Now, when you go to cool these dogs down, it's not ice on the belly. That may shock them, but you should be prepared a little bit. Can you read Casey's little?
Yeah, that's what I was reading.
Just get you a little like tackle box and have this stuff in there so you're prepared in case you need to use it. It's very scary.
Let's save this one for the end because all this stuff. These are preventative things for all of these categories.
Well, you know, I like to jump ahead.
Casey, we're going to come back.
1, 2, 10.
I'll read that comment out because that's a good little emergency pack to have. Basically, what she's describing. And again, Kasie runs the Bully Bus Pet Transport. She deals with this shit on a daily basis. Number 4. Okay, so we got exposure, dehydration, anxiety. Number 4 is outside stimulus. And we're specifically talking about a kennel situation here. If you have dogs outside in the kennel, whether you have misters, whether you have an air conditioner, you have indoor, outdoor, where they can go inside, outside. Outside stimulus like critters, any kind of fucking critter you can think of. Rabbits, in my case. Squirrels, chipmunks out of the farm. The lawnmower, when my lawn guy shows up, somebody's got to be there because it drives the dogs fucking crazy.
Weed whackers.
A weed whacker. The dog next door, whether it's the yard next door or whether it's the dog right next to them in the kennel. If you have dogs that don't get along next to each other, what does the heat do to people in the summertime?
Yeah, exactly.
It makes them pricks. Does the same thing to hot-ass dogs in the summertime. You got 2 females don't like each other next to each other, it's going to be a problem. And then if they get the heat, might not cause it, but when it does get going, whatever the cause is, they're going to have a harder time cooling back down and coming back down to a calm state because of the heat.
And we have bulldogs who, a lot of them don't want to quit, and they're getting hot, heated up. They don't want to quit. So, you know, that can be a potential problem too. But when you're putting your dogs in the kennel, make sure if you're switching dogs to a different living environment or switching partners in the pens, make sure you stay there for a little bit to just watch how they're going to interact. Because, you know, it takes a little bit sometimes for them to get stirred up enough to be active and not quit. And our bulldogs don't want to quit a lot of times, and then it's too late.
It's funny too because most American bullies don't have that. I somehow still, through Francesca, still have that drive where they're not aggressive, like they're going out looking for shit to kill. Sometimes Cleopatra is actually chasing rabbits like she's going to kill them.
Yeah, but it's a prey drive.
But they're not really going out looking for stuff to fight and kill. But if something challenges most of my dogs, it's going until somebody can't go anymore. And I don't know where that comes from because I'd love to get rid of that shit, to be honest with you.
Well, and then, you know, I know a few little dogs that they're like fast twitch dogs. They're always, everything they do, their steps are little and they're always 100 miles an hour and, you know, they're up, down, everywhere. Those dogs get hot.
You know, I think we should change the order of this.
Okay.
Because I think acclimation should be on this list. Acclimation should be number one top of the list. Just like we listed it first. That should be number one top of the list. So technically outside stimulus would be number 5. I would say acclimation number 1, exposure, dehydration, anxiety number 4, outside stimulus number 5. And then I'm gonna throw a number 6 on there because this is something that, you know, males lose their minds when females are in heat. They just get dumb. Males, the testosterone goes up, they start pissing on each other. They start bucking up at each other. If you got a female in heat running around with a couple of males, there could be a problem. And again, if shit gets worked up when it's 101 degrees outside, it's going to be super tough to calm these big bulky motherfuckers back down to where they're cool.
They definitely should not be left together. If your bitch is coming in heat,
especially in the summertime. In the wintertime, I get it if you got
but they shouldn't be left together. That's just a good practice.
Right. But in the wintertime, if you got a female out in the kennels that's in heat, you know, she's going to work everybody up and they're going to be annoying, but nobody's really in danger. Yeah. In the summertime, if you have a female in heat out at in the kennel, surrounded by males and other bitches her hormones are affecting the other bitches also. Kennel, you know, cage fighting, anxiety, everything else ramps up. They can't get calmed down. You're going to lose dogs. And again, we're just talking about this stuff because we're just right now, middle of June, getting ready to get into the real hot shit. We haven't even got into the real hot shit yet. Not in Kansas anyway. Maybe in some of the...
I mean, it's been way hot, but it's going to get worse, yeah. The other thing I want to talk about is how you cool your dogs down. If you have a dog.
Yeah, right here. So we'll go back to Casey's comment about the little list that she puts together. Okay, here. Alcohol to the pads and the belly. Keep lemon juice on hand. Opens up the pores and the throat. Cover them in ice water with an ice pack, with a pack with ice. Now, a lot of people will say avoid the ice. Avoid putting them in ice water because it could cause them to go into shock.
I have put them in ice before when it's an emergency. I've done that.
I've done the same thing.
Their feet in ice.
Here's the thing. That fucking heat stroke's going to kill your dog.
Yeah.
It is going to kill your dog. Ice maybe, quote unquote, maybe put your dog into shock. I'm taking my chances. I know that heat stroke is going to fucking kill it 100%. There's no maybe about it. So if there's an ice bath available, I'm putting my shit in the ice bath for sure, at least the feet. But yeah, ice should be the last resort. Like they should be, you should be like desperate times when you get down to, oh, we need to find some fucking ice
Unless
to shove
you're like
up
me
this
and
dog's ass.
your first heat stroke, you just flip clear out like, oh my god. So I did the ice thing.
Cover them with ice water and ice packs. Freeze them to make the body temp come down. Take away the stress. Pull over. Get out of the crate. That's if you're on the road.
Yeah, get out of the crate. Get some air moving.
But I feel like a good way to keep your dogs cool is moving air.
Oh,
I feel like
sure.
that's one of the biggest things. Moving air.
The wire cages that the air can move through.
Yeah.
I
Because
prefer
plastic
those.
crates are like a fucking oven.
Yeah, they really are. And then when we have fans on, a lot of us don't. That we put the fan on the dog and we just feel like it's all great. But imagine laying in front of a fan 8 hours. Okay, I almost dried city completely up. Okay, when we did,
Speed up the dehydration.
when we redid the kennel last year, it was this time of year. Oh my god! And it got unseasonably hot. So
Yeah, we
they
had
were in
like
the horse barn.
10 days last year. It was like 110.
Oh my god! So I've had to put the fan down there because we couldn't put them in the new kennel. They were in their crate. It was terrible, but anyway, I almost dried him up. So his eyeballs were
He couldn't even blink.
yeah, but I just didn't want him to get hot. So I know how easy that is to do. Make sure they have water hanging on the side, and yeah.
I feel like a good like outdoor, what do they call those, tunnel fan or outdoor big aluminum fans, like a big 30-inch outdoor aluminum fan will keep your flies down too. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's something we didn't put on the list, but that could very well be put on there. That could go under outside stimulus. Flies. Flies cause anxiety, cause stress, cause them to not be able to lay down and go to sleep and cool down. If you got flies on the ears biting them, listen, we live next to a cow pasture. The flies out there are as big as my thumb, some of them. And when they bite you, it leaves a welt like a fucking bee stung you. Like, it's crazy. I can't imagine, like, feeling that all day biting on my ears. Fly spray is super important. Actually,
It is, but I hate to fly spray them every single day.
I hate
too.
it. I hate it. I can't do it every day.
Yeah. So,
We use
but the wind is good. The wind.
stuff that's supposed to be fairly safe, but you can't spray it in their food and water bowls. You can't douse the kennels with it. I spray the dog houses and their ears and try to keep it off even away from their face, just to be safe with it. But yeah, you can't do it every day.
The best thing to get rid of flies is pick up your poop. Pick up your poop a lot during the summer.
Yeah.
Pick up your poop, get it clear away from your building. All little smelly things. Bathe your dogs more often in the summer.
Plant mint around your kennel and weed whack it every day. It does work. Hey, Jose, I'm not a gardener, bro. Plant mint? First of all,
You can
where the
grow mint.
fuck
I
do
can
you
grow
get
mint.
at?
I had mint out there last year in the herb garden.
Mint's a herb? They just call it
Yeah,
mint?
It's mint. Like mint juleps. And it's spearmint. You can eat the leaves. It's
Don't
mint.
know how to post a link, but he knows how to keep flies out of a kennel. That's why I fucking love him right there. I don't need you to post links, Bubby. Just keep coming out with gems like that. Mint. That's insane.
Mint.
First of all, weed whack it every day. No. No, Bub. I don't give a fuck about it that much.
I can't weed whack. I'd kill things weed whacking. I hate the weed whacker.
No, but flies are a big one. I notice the days, like, especially, that's one of the reasons how I know it's time to go spray ears, is the dogs just are restless all day because they're trying to get flies off them. You spray them, they're good for 2 or 3 days, and then right back at it. So it's an ongoing thing in the summertime.
But the wind is great for that. Flies don't like the wind.
Oh, I put before we had the mister system, now we have a mister system that keeps the air temperature around the kennel approximately 20 degrees lower than outside. So if it's 105 It's only 85 in the kennel. If it's 115, it's 95 in the kennel, which is still fucking hot. Mm-hmm. But we put that tunnel fan or the aluminum fan at the end, just shooting from one end down to the other end of the kennel, and it keeps the flies right away. Fly predators are great if you don't live next to a cow pasture. Yeah. These fly traps, they fill up in an hour and a half, and then you got to hang new ones. Sometimes the fucking flies, sometimes they only attract half the flies, because we have house flies, horse flies, biting flies, giant flies, mutant flies. We got 16 different kind of flies out here.
You know what else I like is quick bait.
What's that?
Quick bait's deadly.
Your doodles today. She's got I love Shorty Bowls written all over this fucking paper.
Listen, quick bait's
Anthony
great.
Pope just joined. Anthony Pope next Wednesday.
Pope.
Next Wednesday, Anthony, Marysville, 100th episode going down. I need you here.
Oh, my.
And he missed the shout out for the show earlier that we did.
I know, but we did it.
We did it. You got to re-listen to the show, homie. We did a whole advertisement for your shit.
Now I'm going to tell you about my quick bait trick, okay? Quick bait's very dangerous. It's deadly. It can kill your dogs, okay? So don't be jacking around with quick bait. But, no, listen to me. Listen to me when I'm telling you this.
My luck, everything would be dead.
No, you got it. Listen, this is what you got to do. I have a little package of the stuff I bought today. After many years of using quick bait, this is how you do quick bait. You get some Frisbees, okay? And then you screw them down into the wooden post so they're up high so your dogs can't get them.
Right.
You know, in your kennel, your big kennel. Then you put the quick bait into granules.
And
It's granules, the flies come, yes. And you will sweep up dustpans full of flies. Oh, it's awesome.
Oh, that's
stuff.
the green shit. That's,
Yeah, the little granules.
Yeah.
It's yellowish.
But that'll kill the dogs.
Well, if they eat a lot of it, it's not
But if
good.
it's outside, it's going to be blowing around, is what I'm saying.
I put it on my post in a Frisbee. I like the Frisbee because it's flat. And I can just drill right through it, you know? And it's a big surface area for them to get in.
Right.
Yeah,
Quick bait.
Quick bait.
Motherfucking flies.
Man, you got to be careful with it.
Kasie Hicks says, so far on the gold Maldron bait, the chickens have survived.
Cool. Yeah, that's kind of serious stuff too.
Hey, Kasie, fuck
I
your
don't
chickens.
like the stinky bags. I don't want to do that.
We don't care if the chickens live. I enjoy eating chickens, actually, so. Now, listen, here's my question. If your chickens eat that quick bait and then you eat a chicken,
You won't have flies.
you're going to die. I feel like you're going to be dead. Even the eggs. Now, the eggs, I would call those quick bait eggs.
Now let's
you
quit
now are
because
having
I'm
quick
not
bait
talking
eggs.
about maggots on here. I'm not doing it. Okay, and that's coming next. I know.
No, that's it. We can do the read a fucking book section. Oh, first thing. One more thing I want to talk about. Next week, the 100th episode. Next Wednesday, we're going to be giving away 8 t-shirts. Why is that? I don't understand why everybody laughs at that. Should I?
How did you arrive at
I don't know.
8 t-shirts?
I'm trying to do 10. I don't know who's all going to be here.
Okay.
Listen,
8.
we're going to give away at least 8 t-shirts, okay? They're going to be 100th episode Bull-NA-ChinaShop TV t-shirts.
Are they going to say
Or
on it?
Bull-NA-ChinaShop podcast t-shirts with the Bull-NA-ChinaShop logo or TV logo on the back of them. Basically, all you have to do is watch the live stream of the podcast, which will be next Wednesday. We'll announce the exact time when we get all that figured out.
Do I need to be writing this down? Is
No.
this like official rules?
These are the official rules. So you have to be watching the live stream. You have to like the live stream. You have to share the live stream.
Oh my God.
And you have to comment on the live stream episode 100.
Mm-hmm. And if you want to wear a t-shirt, it better be a nice comment. I'm just kidding.
Oh, like and share the page instead of the live feed. So listen, okay, you got to be watching the live feed, okay?
I'm out already.
You got to like the
t-shirt.
video.
I can
You got to
tell.
like the page. You got to share the video. You got to share the... No, I don't care about all that. You just have to be watching the video, like the video, share the video, and comment. and we will pick 10 people out of the comments after the
How
episode.
are we going to pick that?
What do you mean? It's going to be random.
Oh, okay.
Or I'll look at people that I like and I'll give shirts to my friends. Hello.
Hey, could we get one of those shooter things like they have at the Husker games? Shoot some.
Where are we going to shoot them?
I don't know, but it'd be fun.
We're just going to shoot them out the front window. No people in the street pick them up.
The pressure is right. It's worse than a link.
So, like, comment, share.
Do a double
And
gainer off the high
I'm going to
dive.
go through the names and pick 10 people and check to make sure that they
You know
did
what?
all the steps, and then we'll give the
As we
t-shirts
go
away.
along,
And we're going to be wearing the t-shirts on the episode, so you'll see what you'll be able to win.
I'll tell you what we can do. As we go along,
It's a free fucking t-shirt.
I'll be
okay?
making names and put them in a fishbowl, and then we'll have somebody draw.
Well, we're not going to do the drawing live. We'll do the drawing. You know what? We'll do the drawing on the Instagram live. So we draw people to my Instagram page. Because half of you motherfuckers aren't on my Instagram page. Okay, so that's all I got. Episode 99. Next week's episode 100. We're going to do, Jamie's going to read a little section out of this book for the read a fucking book. Yes, Jose, they will be halter tops. So your midriff will be showing, yes.
Bring your pasties. Okay, this book is from 1973. It's the book of the Bulldog. I love this book. Anyway, if you've ever had a litter of puppies, and if you've ever seen white feces, I don't know how many people have ever seen that. Anybody ever seen that? I've seen it. It scares me to death. So this is dealing with that because it's never good when you have that. So, I'm going to read a couple paragraphs. Another problem we have coped with is digestion. Every now and then, one puppy in the litter cannot digest milk. One sign of this is a white bowel movement. If not corrected, the puppy always dies. A pediatrician prescribed Panteric capsules, triple strength 5 grains, made up by Park Davis Company. I checked tonight because this was copyright in 1973, and you can still get Panteric capsules. The capsule is too large and the contents impossible to divide for a newborn puppy, so we empty the contents into a flat dish, moisten a finger, and pick up whatever attaches itself to the finger, place into the mouth of the puppy before each feeding. Here's the important part. Supplement the puppy's diet as soon as possible with oatmeal and banana baby cereal. The banana supplies the potassium lacking in the puppy's blood, which causes the white feces. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, and
I have had that before, and yes, my puppies died, but I did not know that it was the potassium lacking in the
calcium, potassium, phosphorus, vitamin D, super important shit for your puppy from birth. Having too much of any of them can be bad. Having not enough of any of them can be super bad.
How would you know if a puppy couldn't digest milk? Probably be cranky.
Yeah, it'd be almost like colic with a baby. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. Distended stomach.
Yeah. Fussy
all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have kids. I don't even know if that's a real word. Read that somewhere. Colic, is that real?
That is real.
Did I even have like the right context and everything?
Yes,
I'm a
colicky
fucking
baby.
professional, people, okay? That's what I do. Anyway, episode 99. Jamie Sweet, I love your fucking face. Where can these people find you?
Facebook, Jamie Sweet. I'm pretty easy. I can't do links and all that stuff either.
Jamie Sweet. If you can't spell that, you don't deserve to be talking to her anyway. That's literally the most simple name on the planet, for real. Somebody's going to spell it with a Y, Jamy, not be able to find you. If you want to see more of my stuff, like I said, check out the Instagram, Ty Lumley on Instagram, Bull-NA-ChinaShop TV on Instagram. On Facebook, Ty Lumley on Facebook, Bull-NA-ChinaShop TV on Facebook. If you want to see some kennel stuff and the dogs, check out Double L Kennels on Facebook also. YouTube, Bull-NA-ChinaShop TV. I've been slacking like a motherfucker on YouTube. I apologize to everybody. I've been getting message about it for the past like 3 weeks. I've just been lazy. I hate editing videos. I haven't put that vlog up of the museum we went to. I didn't even put up last week's episode on the YouTube yet. But I'm on it. I promise I'm on it.
That's okay. Remember that. Do you think you could come? We could do some stray cat videos.
Yeah,
and
no.
Pictures and all that jazz.
I was kicking myself today when we got in the car to come here
yeah.
because it was so fucking nice.
Mm-hmm. I can't wait to show you this thing.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
I seen it working in there, and I feel like all my dogs are going to be perked right up on it. Bull-NA-ChinaShop TV on YouTube. If you guys want to get a hold of me, real Ty Lumley at Gmail, or just message me through the Bull-NA-ChinaShop TV page, the Instagram pages, my personal pages. Message me anywhere. Hashtag dog life. This past week in the dog life, send those submissions in. We'll read your shit next week. I got nothing else. You got anything else?
See y'all in Indiana this weekend.
Yeah, Anthony Pope Show, BRC, Juneteenth Bully Fest. Anthony, I wish I could make it. I got somebody coming to pick up a dog.
You know, it's my 35th anniversary.
Whoa.
June 15th. 35th. 35 years of wedded bliss. 35 years
Oh,
of
I thought
dogs.
you meant like in dogs.
Yeah. 35 years.
Oh, I thought you just said
35
wedded
years.
bliss.
Well, I mean, yeah. Got married, got a kennel, all that stuff, same year.
35 years.
Yes.
I feel like
crazy,
you
huh?
forgot more shit than I know about
35
dogs.
years? That's insane. True
Keep-
But Sweet is watching. Hey, Noon.
Hey, Noon. Seen a picture of you yesterday. You look like Jesus Christ that bulked up a little bit. Like if there was protein powder in the Mesopotamia days, that's what you would look like as Jesus Christ. I feel like we could just make a movie about Jesus Christ, who was also a power lifter, and you're gonna play in it. Shout out from Minnesota.
Oh, yeah. Truett's in the big
Must be working.
Minnesota. Yes.
Minnesotans.
Yes, he is in Minnesota.
Must be working. Anyway, next week, episode 100. 100 episodes. Basically, I'm gonna write down some highlights from the first 100 episodes. And we're just gonna talk shit and drink something. Maybe have a little extracurricular activities, adult cigarettes.
Since he's watching, I think, Truett, if you're still watching, I think we should do what it's like to grow up in this if it's not really your idea. He had no choice.
Yeah. Forced into dog slavery.
Oh my God, I wouldn't call it that.
Truett. That's a good idea. You should be on the podcast. I said this before.
Truett has one dog.
Try to get John on too.
One dog, that's all he's ever going to have. One dog. One dog.
That'll be the first time we've had somebody on the podcast that's prettier than me. So, Truett, never mind. Invitation rescinded, my friend.
Not telling you. That's
Can't
what
allow
they
that. Can't allow that. All right, I'm out. I love your fucking faces. See you guys next week.